Welcome back to today's Explainer. We're going to dive into some truly fascinating source material today that presents a completely different way to look at the universe. We're focusing on the core principles of the theory of time and the yin-yang five elements. And let me tell you, it's a perspective that takes concepts we think we already know and just completely flips them on their head, giving us this beautifully structured, almost mechanical view of existence. So let's start with a basic question. Why are we so afraid of time passing? I mean, it's a universal human experience, right? We all tend to view time as this relentless countdown clock. It brings aging, it brings the end of things, and it fuels so much of our anxiety about the future. For most of us, looking at a watch is really just a stressful reminder of what we're running out of. But the source text offers this amazing paradigm shift by contrasting our everyday dread with a much more profound cosmic perspective. Think about the ordinary view, where time equals fear, aging, and a cycle of suffering or karma. Well, contrast that with the cosmic view, where time equals the ultimate Tao, the true path, and the greatest mystery of the universe. Time isn't some monster chasing us down, it's the very fabric of existence itself. The whole idea is captured perfectly in this quote from the teachings of Sung Jinim found in our source text, "Time is the Tao of heaven and earth." The text argues that without time, the universe is just this stagnant, empty, meaningless void. It's time that gives the universe its majesty, its movement, and its purpose. It's not just a way to measure the day, it's the fundamental law of everything. Section 1. The Universe's Law, Seng-Jong Yom-Jong. Now let's break down the four-part operating system of the universe, known as Seng-Jong Yem-Jong. It translates to birth, growth, gathering, and storing. Just think of it like the four seasons. Spring births, summer grows, autumn gathers or harvests, and winter stores. The text explains that time isn't just a straight line heading toward an end. It moves in these incredibly precise, purposeful, repeating cycles. Absolutely everything in nature effortlessly obeys this law. A seed doesn't struggle to sprout in spring, leaves don't resist falling in autumn. It's the inherent rhythm of literally everything in existence. So how exactly does this massive cycle run? Well, the text uses an ancient term, wu wei hua. Let's dejargonize that for a second. It basically just means the universe is completely automatic, self-sustaining operating system driven entirely by time. It requires absolutely no manual input. It's the ultimate background program running the entire cosmos perfectly, ensuring that birth always follows winter and growth always follows birth. Section 2, Map of Time, Yin-Yang, and the Five Elements. Now, you've probably seen this famous cultural artifact at some point. It's the Iruworo Bangdo, the iconic screen featuring the sun, moon, and five peaks that was always placed directly behind the thrones of Korean kings during the Joseon dynasty. Visually, it's a stunning piece of art, right? Full of bright colors and majestic imagery. But according to our source material, it's so much more than that. This was absolutely not just a royal backdrop chosen because it looked pretty. The true brilliance here lies in the hidden meaning. The sun and the moon directly represent yin and yang. And those five peaks, they represent the five elements: wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. The actual purpose of this royal screen was to be a perfect hidden visual diagram of time's movement, cosmic balance, and the ultimate operating system of the universe, sitting right there behind the ruler to symbolize their direct connection to the heavens. Section 3, 12 Branches and the Ox, Re-evaluating the Zodiac. Let's talk about the ox, or Chuk, in the 12 earthly branches. In this cosmic framework, the ox is definitely not just a stubborn farm animal. It actually represents the 12th month of the year. Because it's the final month before the whole cycle kicks off again, the source text identifies the ox as the absolute crucial representative of time's full rotation. It's the symbol for the ultimate culmination and completion of the time cycle. And knowing this casts a completely new light on some really famous Buddhist artwork. Have you ever seen the Simudu, or the 10 Bulls paintings? It's a series of images where a monk is searching for, taming, and eventually riding an ox, which most people understand as the search for enlightenment. But our source text makes a huge connection here. It argues that the ox the monk is so desperately searching for is actually time itself. Meaning, the ultimate search for truth and awakening is, in fact, the search to understand time. Pretty mind-blowing, right? Section 4. The Universe and Time Within. Connecting the macro to the micro. Now let's connect these massive cosmic rules right back to us. Notice how the cosmic principles of the universe align with the seasons, and then they map directly onto human virtues. Spring aligns with benevolence. Summer aligns with propriety. Autumn aligns with righteousness. And winter aligns with wisdom. The source material makes a really compelling argument that human morality isn't just arbitrary or invented by society, it perfectly mirrors the four seasons of cosmic time. We literally carry the seasons in our own character. And it goes even deeper than character. It's woven into our actual biology. Human anatomy mirrors cosmic geography. The five major organs map perfectly to those five elements we talked about earlier. The text points out that ancient medical pioneers like Hyo Jun drew human anatomy based on the living, breathing flow of time and energy, or qi, moving through the body's meridians. They weren't just dissecting dead, static anatomy, they were mapping the core principles of yin-yang and the five elements right onto our inner workings. Your body is quite literally a microcosm of the time-driven universe. Section 5. Beyond Time's Constraints, the Ultimate Liberation. So what is the end goal of knowing all this? The text redefines what enlightenment actually means, using terms like Dutong and Heital. Traditionally, you might think of enlightenment as just emptying the mind or escaping everyday worldly stress. But according to this specific framework, true liberation is literally breaking free from the constraints of time itself. It's about stepping completely outside that repeating cycle of Sengjong Yamjung we went over earlier. If we trace the evolutionary path of a seeker, it looks something like this. In the past, humanity is bound by time spheres, aging, loss, the ordinary view. In the present, through study, a person begins understanding time's operating system, the yin-yang, the five elements. But the future? The ultimate goal, according to the source, is mastering time's energy. By becoming a master of time rather than its subject, the text points toward profound concepts like eternal life and existing completely without fear. Which leaves us with a final, lingering thought to wrap up our explainer today. If true enlightenment is breaking free from time, what would you do with ultimate freedom? Once you realize that time isn't just a ticking countdown clock, but the profound operating system of the entire universe, and one that can be understood and perhaps even transcended, well, you might just look at your own watch entirely differently tomorrow. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive. Keep questioning, keep learning, and we'll see you in the next one.